Yo, 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 what up on my X and Halo fam? It's episode 32. We've had a long, crazy weekend. But man, I'm stoked to be here. We got our honorary fourth member, Shyway. Don't even need to do the secret reveal thing because he's kicking it. You guys know him. We've cast with him. He's the boy. But let's start off with you, Wes. How's your week been, brother?
Week was long, but it was good. Obviously had the good Halo tournament yesterday. Outside of that, just busy at work, rushing the gym. Meal prepping and stuff is tough. Takes up a lot of time, so I'm busy a lot.
It does.
But we're making it. Feel good. Look good. Play
Good for you holding it down, man, being disciplined about it. I don't got that discipline. I'm ordering food left and right, bro. My chat ordered me Wendy's today. I'm just... Yeah, I gotta.
That's pretty cool.
I gotta fix that diet, bro.
I need to chat.
Faisal Goofy, my man. Tell me about your week.
Good week, man. Like Wes said, we had that tournament that we commentated. We're a part of yesterday on the Halo channel for the HCS $10,000 championship, the Halo 5 Pro Series. That was amazing. Excuse me. And today I was telling the boy. I actually sent the video in our Twitter DMs. I know Alex and Wes saw it. But I went to a nice, had some nice dinner today. Had a couple of friends get some. I feel like we hadn't had a chance to really enjoy like an amazing meal, and felt like a year almost. Obviously I've had good food here and there, but I just went with a couple of good friends, had an amazing steak today, and it felt amazing. So that was kind of the highlight of my day. And the whole week though, it was good, just working. And been working out more consistently again, getting back into a routine a little bit. Next step for me, it's about time, seriously. Next step for me is just similar to Wes. He's talking about meal prep. I just want to get my diet back in shape, start
hard
counting my macros a little bit better, and just being a little bit more disciplined with everything. But I'm excited to be here.
We're going to have to make the School of Wes where he just like gives us our workout regimens and our diets and, puts it together for us individially and whatnot.
That'd be nice.
You don't have to pay the School.
I was going to say, I wouldn't expect the man to work for free. Come on, dog. But yeah, man. Stoked to have you, Faisal, obviously, the man. And Alex, brother, Shyway. First of all, I'm stoked to have you, man. I'm stoked to finally have you on like the show. You've obviously cast and done a bunch of stuff with us in that sense. But yeah, tell us about your week. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'll be honest in saying I'm tired. We had Saturday. Obviously, we all did that together. I thought that was great. And then I had Esports Arena today. I was hosting that all day long, and I just got off of that. So I'm in chill mode.
Those can drain you.
They do, yeah. It's because it's the combination of hosting and casting. And when I'm casting with Tony, like I like to match the energy of my fellow caster, and Tony's just
he brings the energy.
He brings it.
So we're just going. We're like, I got my dad upstairs. I'm still at home right now, and he's like, "Damn, you're really going at it. You guys are just like yelling." Anyway,
if you guys, go ahead.
Other than that, it's been a good week. I'm also on the fitness grind for sure, trying to be consistent. I do eat healthy, but I'm not counting the macros, so I got to get that. Maybe I got to sign up for the West program too, or something.
He's gonna charge you double.
I was about to say, Shyway, you might get a discount.
Oh yeah. You've been showing off the results all Saturday, by the way. This is
two poses. It's like
this is comfortable. No, you guys don't understand. I've been through 2 bicep surgeries. This feels so it feels good.
When has this ever been the resting pose of a caster?
Right now.
What do you think about the matchup?
Hey, I get it. It's like
me with the flag.
I'm sorry because I know a lot of you guys. That's on me. What's happening right now for everybody watching is that they all have girls that they tell them that they're going to be a special caster for the HCS. Twitch.tv/Halo. They want to check it out, and then the first thing she sees.
Where you're going with this.
First thing she sees is an absolute unit of an arm.
And that's a good one.
She hasn't heard a word Faisal said all day.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's the Halo broadcast, so if you lead with that, you can tell them it's a video game that you're commentating.
Right here trying to play games, and Wes is out here courting the boys, the girls. It's like
hey, I'll wear long sleeves from now on. That's on me.
I obviously have to comment on the fact, Alex, that yesterday, you were rocking the cardigan, which was like I liked it, chef's kiss. But today, you're doing like the fake hoodie thing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
No,
today.
listen, bro, you're triggering me so hard right now. Like I had that exact sweater. It was one of my favorite ones, and it got stolen in my car when my car got stolen. So it's like it's gone. It's off the scene. So just seeing that, I was like, man, I miss that sweater.
Is this a coincidence?
But
yeah, I swear I did it. I
yeah,
There's a
dude,
guitar like against the wall in Alex's
dude,
background.
it's just like my whole rig. My car's in his driveway. But nah, man, we're super pumped to have you. I mean, obviously, like you said, you just did the esports arena and with Tony, and we love Tony. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Tony cast, y'all need to see that. That dude's a ball of energy, a ball of fun. One of the cool, genuine folks. We might have to have him on the show. We'll see. But give us the insight. How did the esports arena tournament go? I didn't get to watch any of it because I was playing. So what kind of happened? What went down?
It went well. So we had Frosty make a comeback. It was they're called Yotes, I believe. Is there any?
It's goats without instead of the G, it's a Y. It's Yotes.
Right, Yotes. Is that?
What does that stand for?
I'm sure.
It's probably
might
some
not-
inside. It's some inside.
Legally, we
thing.
might not be able to put this video on YouTube if we were to find out what that means.
Okay.
Knowing those
It's
guys.
like it's like when because everybody's saying down bad now. Down bad is like the new term.
Yeah.
Down bad. And I said down bad in the broadcast, and then I looked at the comments, and somebody said Shyway has no idea what down bad means.
Yeah, the context was off.
Yeah, so I looked it up, and apparently it's like you're really horny or something.
Yeah.
You're down bad. You haven't had a girl. in a while.
You're really horny and lonely, right? It's like the sad boy revolution of beta males.
You use it in.
But to be honest, I am down bad if that's the case.
No, you don't publicly say these things. Now you're actually down bad.
Once you admit to it, then you're down bad.
Yeah,
But I think it's still applicable for in a series too. If you're losing, you're still anyway. So Yotes, we had Yotes that was Frosty, and the rest was let's change topic. We didn't talk about
Oh man, that's funny.
the rest was inconceivable. It was Bound, Boo Boo, and Falcated. No Saiyan, not sure what he's up to, but that was the God Squad of the tournament. But they had some competition. First, it was KCP was in it as well, and then we had Demon Mode, which was Spartan, Ace, Sab.
Arctic. I did see that. Yeah,
a solid squad. They got third place. Winners finals though. KCP and Yotes faced off, and KCP were losing so bad they just rage quit. So I thought they were done. I thought they were out of the tournament because they dropped out mid game.
Jeez.
But they came back. Yeah, they came back in finals, and they almost won it. But it's a best of 3, and this is something that I actually want to talk to the guys at Esports Arena about, because now that we've brought it back to like an earlier time frame, it ends.
Finals should go to best of 5.
I think it should go to best of 5 because the chat hates it. Yeah, the competitors in the chat hate that it's best of 3. It's just
maybe,
dude, they were tweeting about
long broadcast though. That's what I'm thinking. It's like maybe if you did the finals and you did winners and losers, or winners and the actual championship finals as best of 5s, I think that's okay.
It was just funny to me because like
the whole tournament is best of 3s. Like that's already not ideal, and you would think bare minimum the finals should be best of 5. That is if even the finals are best of 3 for this, and it's been going on for this long, that's just tough. But I mean, hopefully if there's some wiggle room there, that should definitely. If you had a vote on that, it would 100 out of 100 get best of 5.
Yeah. I was just thinking it was funny because like I saw a tweet go out from Esports Arena that like, yo, winners final is starting now, and I had literally just played my first round. Like I was wrapping up my first round of the Halo 3 tournament, and y'all were pretty much already done.
And another thing on that, since we're on the subject of Justin, you played in the Halo 3 tournament today, obviously. Your team getting third. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I miss Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the form, the way the tournament
having it all spaced out, yeah,
because now we're not getting a lot of the players in the Halo 3 tournaments because they're playing in the H5, the Esports Arena tournament. So
I would almost say it's the other way. I would almost say you're not getting as many in the Halo 5 because like our team count has actually doubled. I was looking at it, like our team count for the Halo 3 tournaments has doubled since we went to Sunday.
It goes both ways then, to be fair. Regardless, both pools
pick.
of players can be playing on both sides, right? Like you have the like Ace.
This is only a temporary problem. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, sure. No, you're right. I am nitpicking here, but quality
of life stuff.
So Yotes
Yeah,
were able to
sure.
pull it out in the end, Shyway, after KCP made the run. They were able to win the best of 3.
Yost pulled it out. It came down to a final flag. It was a crazy game of Fathom CTF, but Yost took it. And if it wasn't a best of 3, who knows? I think Yost still probably would have clutched up. But
Probably.
yeah,
Those guys are
yeah,
good.
they're gods. They're disgusting. So
Yeah.
yeah. So good day. Viewership getting a little bit better. With Wes and I, it was a little lower, just because I think it's been so long. No, it was our first. It was our first because Wes is just so uninteresting.
With Wesson.
There's nothing I could do to hype the guy up. So
I'll just flex next time. Next time I'll just wear a tank top, and I'm sure.
Holy.
And then the numbers will just get doubled.
I noticed. I think it was like the
Put us in just chatting.
The viewer number was like 2K, and then it was 2.5, like out of nowhere. And I think it was this. It was
a direct correlation. As soon as the arms go down, the numbers go down too.
And it's not even like Wes would do this for a second and then go back to what he was doing. It's like he would literally hold this pose for like 30, 40, 50 an hour at a time.
This is more comfortable to me than I sit at work like this for hours if I'm in the middle of a meeting or a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I think clear like this. This is comfortable.
all the blood flows leaving your arms.
Alex, you were saying the KCP quit. Can you want to break that down a little bit? That's some interesting information.
I don't know. I mean, that it's not like there's not too much to say other than it was like 35-14 or something in Rig Slayer.
How do you feel about that? Like, how do you think?
I think
because we've had that conversation a couple times on the podcast too. But excuse me, where do you stand with? Is that unsportsmanlike? I mean, is that unsportsmanlike to you? Or do you think, do you think it's unacceptable, or is it kind of one of those things you can brush off, like, oh, they're losing, so they just? Or where do you stand on that kind of quitting before the game is over?
I think it depends on the tournament. I think that because Esports Arena is very informal and kind of casual, that they can get away with it, but it's definitely bad sportsmanship. If this was a larger scale broadcast, and they, potentially they're disqualified for leaving one game.
Mm-hmm.
We had a similar thing. I can't remember who it was. I think it was on Elevate, and somebody changed the yellow team because they were losing so badly. He just switched to yellow and just started, BMing or whatever, and then they ended the game. Like that. That's just, it's just poor. That's
childish.
I mean, the Halo 5 scene is like a bit younger too, right? Like, do you think that has a correlation? Like, do you think it's a correlation with age and everything else? Yeah, the Elevate team, those dudes are like they were 13, 14 back then.
We saw Halo 3 too. Don't forget.
Oh yeah,
Halo 3 too.
I'm sure it was worse.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm saying we saw recently in the Halo 3 Pro Series, we saw Sentinels do that as well. So go ahead, Wes.
My thing is like, it's one thing if like it's not being broadcasted and like there's no production. Like if you want to quit out and just like cost your team, like if you're forfeiting in a sense, like whatever. But as soon as there's like a level of production and like there's a company that's putting forth effort, there's like human beings fucking working to try and put on a show for whatever viewers that they're providing this experience to.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when you start messing with other people's jobs, you start messing with other people's like integrity, you start messing with other people's like professionalism, because it's like what do those people do? Like, and not as a caster is not really the problem, but like for the companies that are like literally spending, like, individuals are spending time, money, effort to like try and put on a show or something, and then you're kind of going to like interrupt all that because your team was getting bashed.
Yeah, and to your point, I think it depends on what the setting is, right? Like, I'd imagine if there was, like, for example, in something like Call of Duty where they have a league, or if Halo, with Halo Infinite, if there's like a pro league or whatever the case, there's gonna be, with all these. Yeah, you'll be fine.
There'll be rules for that stuff,
Just like any other league, you'll be fine. So I agree, Wes. I think depending on the situation, people do it knowing there's not a consequence. So in that sense, it's like whatever. But I do agree. It's at the end of the day, it's unsportsmanlike conduct.
This actually does bring up a topic that I kind of wanted to jump in on, actually, regarding like the broadcast that we did together on Saturday. I actually wanted to get Wes's take on this. I mean, we saw a lot of weird, toxic idiots in the chat. That's just the usual, right? Like, that's not something to really bring up or mention, but it was interesting. I don't know if you noticed this, Wes, to see a bunch of the pros come in and start complaining about the format and complaining about like this and that after losing in the tournament in the official Halo stream. Like, do you want to comment on that, Wes?
No.
Do you think that's like acceptable behavior? Like, are you cool? Like,
I mean, it's fine for them. I feel like Right now it's a very frustrated time for
for all
people
these
that are trying to be professional Halo players, people that have committed a lot of their time in life. Like I hit that point as a player as well, where like when I was a player, I was on the front lines of telling people that they need to do their job better. Trust me. Um, Looking back on it, it was definitely not the way to go about it. There's constructive criticism. There's being helpful. There's trying to work with whatever organization, whatever company, whatever it might be, in order to make things better. And then there's like just saying negative comments, like blatantly knowing that it's like you're almost like you're trying to start like a mob or a pitchfork. Like nothing's gonna change because you typed in a Twitch chat that you don't like WM
tell
or
it to
something,
Moses.
right? Like you need to do it in a professional manner. Like
Yeah.
you know who the head of the HCS is. If you want to get things changed, you have those conversations with him, and you say, "What do we need to do in order to have a conversation at a table, or potentially we look at changing this to a WM instead? What does that procedure look like? Like, can we like be looking at that?" That's why there's like a players association for every professional sport.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
needs to be Halo.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and again, just to kind of chime in, yeah, I think it's like dependent on the state of the game right now too, and how everything that's schedule, everything getting pushed to the right. Now we're seeing some of the trickle effects of that. It's some frustration coming in on both sides. But there is light at the end of the tunnel for everybody, right? We know Halo Infinite is right around the corner, and we've seen the information, the bits of information that has been released to the public is promising. So I understand the frustration, but to Wes's point,
It's all
there's always a right way to do it. And whatever, it's a Twitch chat. Like you can't get into the
yeah. It's
nitty
like
gritty too much. It's like, it's so easily accessible. You can just talk to everyone right there. Like I don't blame people for going in there, but I do agree it needs to be you just got to look at it from like, just take a step
Yeah.
back and just
Yeah.
realize it's not really helping in that sense.
There's two different things there. There's like, what's the purpose of like you expressing this? Is it to like publicly release some stress, or like are you actually trying to get things changed, or what is your purpose here? Because I mean, I'm not going to tell you what your purpose should be, but knowing that like what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish, and are you accomplishing those goals with those actions?
Yeah. And
Two,
my oh, sorry. Go ahead. I know
yeah.
this is a multiple PowerPoint situation.
To Faisal's point that touched on like the hard time that it is, it's like you don't see typically these guys act like this when there is a set circuit in place, when there is a set schedule in place, and everything is back to normal. We're just in like Halo right now is obviously in a lull. Like we're anticipating the new game, and
Mhm.
whenever those new games come out and there's leagues and they're structured, there's never like that's where you have the more private conversations that pros are having with whatever organizations or whoever to tournament runners in order to like make sure we're able to provide the best experience for everyone involved.
Hmm.
Like it's like right now we kind of have like almost like a free for all of um structure in a sense because of like the need for the next step, which we all know is infinite.
Yeah. Yeah, my
Yeah.
goal, I hope you guys understand, like my goal is not to call anybody out. That's why I didn't say names or anything like that. I obviously respect our pros like a ton, and I love those dudes, honestly. I'm just thought it was worth having a conversation about. I think there's better ways to, I mean, dude, with the thing with Tashi, man, like you said, the head of HCS, like he's so easily accessible. It's not like he's locked away in some tower not responding to stuff. You can text him, you can DM him, like he's,
I mean, we could talk. Snakebite's obviously doing it in the middle of a tournament. It's like Snakebite also knows that if he calls Tashi right now, Tashi answers his phone, and they can have this exact conversation and actually
Yeah.
get somewhere or
They'll
wherever.
get somewhere though. Do you think? Because
I don't know.
wonder-
And if they, I mean, obviously not like you're not going to do every single thing that's requested because there's reasons that the format is what it is.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like clarifying those reasons to whoever and going from there and figuring out like, do we have the bandwidth? Is this an actual better opportunity or route?
Hmm. And we don't
Like,
have all the information either, right? Like
no,
we're
I
kind of
have
just
none of it.
speculating.
So
Like we don't know if he's reached out and he didn't get what he wanted. We just that's why it's even kind of
Exactly.
hard to have this in-depth conversation about it because we really don't know any of the information.
Yeah.
all
So
Yeah.
speculation.
Yeah, I just wanted to briefly touch on it. And like, I mean, to their credit, we saw with Halo 3 with that whole setup, we saw the day get changed, we saw it get switched to double elimination for us. So it's like not like they're not listening, like they're listening, they're paying attention to everything. So my guess is that there's obviously a reason why it hasn't been formatted that particular way, right?
Well, listen, I want to talk about, it's Sunday. We just had the $10,000 Halo 5 Pro Series tournament yesterday, obviously. Fortunately for all of us, we were a part of the show. It was great. Shout out to Lennox and the whole crew that, Richie and everyone behind the scenes that made everyone that made the show great.
Josh have saved my camera.
Yeah, man. Your stuff was looking.
You're crisp now.
Looking crispy.
Dude, I'm just not technical, and whenever like people try to give me new equipment and just hand me a box of stuff and then expect me to like be flawless, like that is not going. Accepting this box, I'm like, I'm screwed.
There's trouble ahead.
I'm like, I know what works. My mic and camera at home.
Yeah. Your stuff was looking good, so that shout out.
Hey, this camera is nice. I've never seen myself.
Dude, you gotta start streaming now.
He's like, my biceps are in 4K, bro. My biceps are in 4K.
Yeah, you gotta start streaming. But so it was a great show. I actually want to get Alex talking a little bit more on this episode. Obviously, he's our guest. So Alex, I want to pass it to you, and let's just start with the basic question. What team surprised you the most? What team kind of disappointed you the most, looking at these the placings for the Halo 5 Pro Series $10,000 tournament? Alex, go ahead and break it down for us, things that stood out to you and things that you were surprised by.
Can I just before you answer that, I'm just gonna make a comment. I love when Faisal announces whatever the title for this tournament was, because it's something new every time. You're always like the Halo 5 Pro Series $10,000 championship, and then you'll be like, it's the Halo 5 Series Pro.
Yes, you do that. You do that.
Different versions.
It's the HCS Finals 10K Halo 5 tournament. Like, yeah, it's pretty funny. I love it.
The Season 3 Championship 10K Halo 5 Pro Series. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to say it. All right, continue, Alex.
I remember we came back from a break and I said the Halo 3. I said Halo 3.
You did do that, yeah.
Pro Series. I was like, Halo 3 is actually happening tomorrow, so feel free to check that. Yeah.
That's a good transition.
Yeah, it worked out actually. It was okay. As far as surprises, I think the biggest surprise out the gate was how well Sentinels was playing against KCP. That was definitely a little unexpected. We know KCP are super confident in flag, but they got just completely demolished.
Truck goosed, bro. That's insane.
Goosed. Game one, we've got a player in the top 4 teams just goosing, which that's very unexpected.
He had a tough series that entire series. No, he started playing better in some of the other series.
I mean, yeah, but it wasn't like
I don't know. He had a rough one.
He's like one of the best 8 players right now in Halo 5, and he did not play lights out.
Yeah, Soul Snipe and Manny were definitely playing the best on that team, which was surprising.
Soul Snipe played lights out.
Soul Snipe was playing so good. Go ahead, Alex. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So there was that opening, but then the biggest surprise had to just be Inconceivable's. I think Inconceivable's performance, that rig game. The rig game was so memorable. I've forgotten about most other games because of that one game. Boo Boo. I've watched it now from Boo Boo's perspective, from Sayan's perspective, and I've watched it in theater as well. So like I went back after the tournament just to see everything.
Can you give us a teaser of the things that you noticed? I know you're going to make a breakdown of it. I don't want you to spoil the whole video, but
it was near flawless from Boo Boo. He made a couple mistakes on some lives, but they didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. The plays that he made correctly were just he led the game. Just beautiful. There was this one thrust that he did that and this is the beauty of now that I've done an analysis in theater mode, I realize I can go into third person, I can show it in third person, and I can go back to first. I find that's like a really cool effect. So I'm going to try to do it with Boo Boo. But at one point he's sitting underneath, the box jump up to top rail. There's like the spring jump.
Yeah.
He's like right next to it, and he gets like a kill, and somebody shoots him in the back from like BR spawn, and he jump thrusts and perfectly lands like where the trench is. Like you can go to trench from there instead. You can jump down to trench.
Yeah.
he doesn't drop the trench. He's on the ledge above trench, like wedged in the corner. He like perfectly lands on this like tiny railing and then just sits crouched, strong side, like wedged in the corner. And then his teammates finish off the kill and he comes back out. It was just this like this micro, like if his thrust just connected him so cleanly. It had to be on purpose. Like it just looked too anyway. Little
Yeah.
things like that. But yeah, it was just a really, really well executed game. And it's cool to see, go into theater and watch like Bound's POV. Bound didn't do as well kills wise, but to watch some of the plays that he makes and how he kind of opens up opportunities for players like Saiyan and Boo Boo to just pick up a lot of clean kills. So yeah, Inconceivable's were amazing. They got beat pretty bad by C9, and then they came out of nowhere and just destroyed everyone and everything in their path.
So that's kind of like a positive, something that surprised you in a positive way. Was there anything that stood out to you like negatively, like someone that underperformed or something that you weren't expecting in that sense?
The top 4 remained the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same. We didn't really get to see anybody outside of the top 4, did we? We only saw them.
We saw Heart of the Cards a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, we saw Heart of the Cards. Heart of the Cards and Flyers had a good series in pool. It was on
game 5?
Louis V Titans production.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they had a good matchup right before we saw Heart of the Cards play KCP, and KCP made quick work of them. But yeah, I mean, for me, we saw KCP, start off so slow, losing the way they lost to Sentinels, and then kind of hit their stride, and they were looking strong going into that series against Cloud9. But man, again, they were up 2-1, going into it. They always have C9 on a closeout game. They always have C9 on the ropes, and C9 always like out ices them. I don't know what it is. If it's a mental block against Renegade,
it's the Renegade
I'm
thing,
sure there's a lot of subtle, things there that come into play. Maybe it's just simple. Maybe they just don't have the ice or whatever. But we see KCP get so close every time and fall a bit short. Obviously, kudos to them for winning one of these things, but I just want to see more consistency out of them. And Sentinels, same in this tournament. For me, they were the biggest kind of letdown of the day. Not to say that they did have some good moments in the tournament. Obviously, the way they started against KCP was fantastic, and even going into that matchup, I had no idea. I don't remember the last time I saw Sentinels get 3-0. Do you guys remember the last time you've?
I was trying to think about it, and I literally couldn't think about it. Can you think of it?
Splice had to 3-0 them. I feel like it got to a point. Yeah, it got to a point in 2018 where Splice was the best team in the world.
Yeah. Okay.
So they might have 3-0 them at the finals too. I think they 3-0 them in the finals.
Years since we've seen it, right? So that was the most surprising thing for me, and similarly to Alex, Inconceivable was the talk of the show. Boo Boo Doo Boo, man. Yeah, I'm excited to watch that breakdown, Alex, because when I was commentating that game, I was just in awe of how perfect his subtleties in his game are. What really make him such a good player. He's really smart. He's patient. He hits Boo Boo. He hits the shots, and he has low key amazing movement. He's not a sporadic fast movement on the map, but he just does everything right.
It's efficient.
Right, and
it's whatever he needs for the moment.
He'll peak at the right time, and then go, and then get cover, and then peak, and then keep peaking, and then the challenge, and then take cover. He's really good at that annoying stuff that you need to be good at in Halo 5. And that I think that really was.
I think he does that in every Halo.
He does. He does.
Yeah, I think he does.
When he was on Reach, he was jetpack sniping, and the angles that relocating and the different angles that he would get so quickly would throw people off so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's he challenges you here, and then all of a sudden he's over here, and the angles are all weird.
Right.
It feels
I think of sorry.
No. It feels like playing against him and watching him, it feels like he's the kind of player that doesn't take a single wall for granted. You know what I mean? He's never full sending around a corner that he doesn't need to. There's never a piece of geometry that he's not going to put to use if it's there for him, right? I feel like a lot of players, especially AMP players, they jump out, they do all kinds of things, and they don't use the map to their advantage, where I feel like the map for Boo Boo Doo Boo is just a tool. It's a tool for all the battles he's going to get into. It's a tool for his engagements. He plays his angles well. He always has the escape route and exits planned, and it shows in the way his game goes. He died 6 times in that Rick Strongholds game.
He honestly reminds me a lot of Cloud. They have a ton of individual skill, both did. But I think Boo Boo Doo Boo is definitely a more passive style of player. I think that the game comes to him a lot of the time, it feels, and he's like not forcing anything. To your point, Justin, I feel like I always see one of two Boo Boo Doo Boos. Like there's one that's like the Boo Boo Doo Boo we saw yesterday, where he like is the highest impact player of anyone in the match. Like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
And like he's getting every camo, and it feels like he's reading it perfectly. And then I've watched like games where like he goes MIA or
he's kind of just there on the map.
Yeah,
And he
it's
just
like,
even though he never plays like bad, but there are the tournaments that Inconceivable wins. There's a direct correlation with him playing out of his mind.
Like when everything like when Boo Boo Doo Boo is
kind of an X
like on,
yeah,
like they're so good. And then it feels like if he can't get things going, he might not be off, but if he can't get things going like the way that he can, like if you stop him from getting these camos and he just burns them instead, like that's when Inconceivable, I feel like, is almost vulnerable, and we see them fall short of like expectations.
And I feel like, and you can let me know if you agree with this or not, Alex, Wes, Faisal, but if I feel like when he's playing fine, when he's playing like his baseline, like yeah, like they're capable of winning and they're a factor, but like when he's playing good, they're a powerhouse. They're a major problem. We saw him 3-0 Sentinels. We saw him win the finals pretty handedly. Like he takes them to a level where they're unbeatable, basically.
Very few players can impact the game like he can at his highest level, is what I'll say.
Right.
Like when
Alex,
he's playing at a high level.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. He has a uniqueness to his game. We've known that about Boo Boo. You know, he's a unique player. So whenever he's playing at a high level, it's something to witness. Alex, what do we got to say about Cloud9, man? They just can't win, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I don't know. You were talking about KCP not having the ice against C9. C9 seems to have the same issue in grand finals against like anybody. I don't know.
Oh God, dude!
Grand finals curse or something
against the winner.
Against the winner.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I think they were playing well. They also destroyed Inconceivable just like a hour earlier.
Dude, 3-0 them or 3-1 them.
Types, who knows? But yeah, 3-1.
And I like it's funny because like I'm always getting the direct reaction because I'm in Discord a lot with the Lovejoys with Hoax and Alumni and stuff. But like immediately after last night, like Hoax was like, "Man, we just keep beating ourselves." He's like, they're not even better than us. We're literally losing these games ourselves. We're throwing them away. Like that's like a frustrating place to be, where it feels like you either make a misplay or like errors that are on your end of things cost you, rather than like, you know, they're playing against the best players in the world, so they're going to capitalize on every opening, every error, big or small, you know what I mean? And like those unforced errors, they're driving them nuts, you know, and they feel that.
It would be really interesting to see their gameplay and see what exactly is falling apart between them in those types of situations, for sure. But yeah, it was a close series with them still, right? Like I think did it go to game 5?
Yeah, I went to game 5.
Yeah. But Wes, Mike, I have a question for you, man, because you and I have both like been pulling for Cloud9, right? Like we're big Eco fans, big Renegade, like everybody on that team, I'm a big fan of. But we keep saying like, oh well, we know they're capable of winning. Oh, we know they're capable of winning. At what point do we just throw in the towel and say this team is not capable of winning as constructed right now?
No.
Because they beat everybody.
I'm not entertaining the fact that they can't win the whole thing. Like, because that's disrespectful. Like, if they can beat any other team, like if you line up Sentinels, I'm like, yeah, Cloud9 can beat them. Inconceivable, yeah, Cloud9 can beat them. KCP, yeah, Cloud9 can beat them. Like, okay, well then they can win this tournament. They just have to do each one of those 3 steps typically.
Yeah,
like it's just a matter of putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah, no, I'm not disrespecting them and saying that they're incapable of winning. I'm just asking, like, at what point, after how many second places, there's never a point.
Players.
All right,
no. Like, what do you think, Justin? It sounds like you think otherwise.
To be honest, like I'm just disappointed. Like as someone who's like a fan of those players, right. As someone who's a fan of, like I'm a fan of those players, dude. Like I was a massive Splice fan, like and I'm just like, I feel like they're always right there.
What do you think
they're always capable.
What do you think is keeping them from winning these things, Justin?
Shotsy.
You think they beat them?
You can't say that,
question.
man.
Do you think they beat themselves?
Maybe, I don't know.
There's some errors. I mean, we watched.
I mean, everybody has errors.
No, I know, but I remember on the broadcast. I can't remember. Go ahead. Yeah, I remember on the broadcast. I can't remember who exactly it was, but it was like someone like little things like miss a jump for a flag and then you get melted and countercapped on.
Exactly.
Like that was happening to them. You know what I mean? Like I remember that happening multiple times, and it's like at that point it's like, yeah, dude, like you got to just close things out. You know?
I guess another question to ask is, do you think, I think we all agree that they can win a tournament. Like they have the capability to, but do y'all think we'll ever see this roster similar to how Splice was? Do you think we'll ever see this roster, the way it's constructed, to become a dominant team that can win multiple tournaments in a row?
Can I answer that real quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
They're not a team for infinite, so
Right.
that they're
They're
not
not?
ever going to become this monster of domination.
I
because
thought
they don't have
Cloud9 is the
time.
Aren't they a
infinite team.
for infinite? They all are.
Cloud9 is that.
I don't think so.
That is their infinite
Isn't
team.
Saiyans teaming on Envy, isn't he?
No, that's inconceivable.
Saiyan.
Not on the team.
Cloud9 is their
Cloud9,
actual
dude.
team.
Oh, you guys are saying I'm an idiot. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good. You're
Yeah,
good.
I was
You're good.
like-
You're good.
I was like, what?
That's their full team. Yeah.
No, that's their
Yeah.
actual roster. You know.
I don't think they'll ever dominate. No, I mean that's
Like, you know that team mind, like with Shotzi, how they were just like, dang, this is the team to beat. Do you think they'll ever get there? Even
No.
maybe not Halo 5, but in
no
Infinite or something.
shot.
No,
You
I
can't
don't
just
think so.
lose Shotzi and have the
Yeah.
same expectations.
Huh.
Yeah.
That is actually an interesting dilemma.
Do you think
And that-
Sentinels? Do you
and
think
that's not
Sentinels
a-
will become that team again, where they're just winning everything?
They're always capable of that, honestly, in my opinion.
We
They
haven't
are.
seen Sentinels with TJ in so long.
Dude,
that it's
TJ
like-
is a
it's kind
problem.
of upsetting because
Yeah.
I love TJ. I think
Yeah.
he's world class.
I think, like,
obviously, his
yeah.
resume speaks for itself.
I think it's
kinda not a
tricky.
fair
Go ahead.
assessment.
Go ahead. I just think
No,
it's tricky to talk about like the Shotzi thing because like you don't ever want it to come across as Penguin slander. Like it's not about Penguin,
not.
like what he's lacking. It's just like about what Shotzi was. Right,
Yeah.
Shotzi was transcendent,
Still
like
is.
once in a lifetime type of player. You don't come across one of those very often. Like, you know, I put him up there with like the Pistolas of the world, like the impact that Pistola had on Halo 3 and things like that. Like Shotzi, and even more so, like they're literally like when a player has coined like terms, like when you say Shotzi movement, like that's insane. You know what I mean? Like that's another level of play. So it's not like we're saying Penguin is not good enough. We're just saying like it's hard when a generational talent like that is not on your team
It's
anymore.
like Kawhi
period.
leaving the Toronto
Exactly.
Raptors,
Yeah.
and like the Raptors are still
Jordan or whatever.
good. Like they were still able to make the Eastern Conference Finals, but they're just they lost Kawhi. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Shotzi was the center of the team.
He would throw that
Yeah.
Canadian sports.
Shotzi was the
Jab
best
at
player I
Alex.
ever watched play Halo.
Did they
He
make
was-
the Eastern Conference
yeah.
Finals? after?
I think
don't know if they did.
Shotzi's like peak performance is probably unmatched.
Was the best Halo I
Yeah,
ever
I've
watched.
never seen someone play Halo like that, period. Just the like I want to understand what it's like to be in his brain for one game. Like the whole lens that he viewed a game with was completely different than any player ever.
It's part of the reason why I even have a YouTube channel because it's him and Frosty who honestly inspired my my content to begin with because I watched their gameplay and I'm like holy shit.
Yeah.
I gotta talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so we had Inconceivable obviously winning Cloud9 second, which was awesome. KCP and Sentinels rounding it out. We got to see some Ryan on the stream, Heart of the Cards and stuff. For me, my biggest disappointment was obviously Flyers. I'm biased, you know, obviously team with commonly, but
You're
to be a team-
unbelievably biased.
to be a team
been
that
disappointing
they've been
for
scrimming
sure.
Sentinels, they've been scrimming like every day, like not every day, but they've been practicing, putting in the work, and like I'm not expecting them to come in and like just bust into the top 4 or something, but to then lose to a like, you know, Rain, Ryan, those guys haven't even been, you know, playing Halo 5 like that. You know, they just had a really, really, really bad showing on that Saturday.
It
Yeah.
kind of like progressively got worse though, right? Because there was one week, like I think right at the start of season 3, they felt like they were a team that could be in top 4. Like they were really.
I mean,
kind
it
of,
took
you know,
Inconceivable to
banging
game
on the door.
5, like, you know, for a pool, a first place pool spot and stuff like that. But they just, I don't know, dude, like,
But after week 1, I think it just all started to go downhill. I don't
Yeah.
know what really happened.
yeah, I actually asked Tammy about it today. I was like, dude, like, talk to me about Saturday. I saw it. It did not go well or whatever. And he was just like, everybody's just better than us. Like, that was just, he's just defeated. That sucks, you know, like to feel like that. Or like everybody was better. Because like Halo 5, and Alex, you can tell me if I'm totally wrong on this. You're the Halo 5 expert, but Halo 5 to me is so momentum based and like energy based on like showing up on that day. You know what I mean? Like you could practice all in the world, but the way that game you kind of have to be able to find that zen state to have success in that game. So I feel like anything can happen, you know?
Yeah, there's so much individual outplayability and it's so mechanically demanding too that you have to be so on to dominate for sure.
Mm-hmm. Wes, what about you, man? Things that stood out to you, good and bad.
Inconceivable is obviously good. It's good to see them back in the finals, let alone win it. Kind of enjoyed all of early last year when they started to really contest with Sentinels and Tox at the time. Maybe they were Sentinels at the time. And I kind of show us that there was like a new team on the block that could potentially run things for a bit. So it was good to see them after the lull that they've been in kind of step up and play to their potential. Nobody really disappointed me. I mean, obviously, I wanted Cloud9 to win. I predicted it. They lost, but I can't even like be mad because of how well Inconceivable played. It was just like
It was a good
beautiful to
series.
watch.
They went to game 5.
Beautiful
it's
to
like,
watch.
I mean, they just made more plays. Like I don't think like when I hear Cloud9 say that they like lost that series themselves, I'm like, no. What I saw is Inconceivable just made more plays.
Mm.
They like literally Booba was making plays. Sam was
He
making
was.
plays. Bound pushed Snipe by himself in game 5 and turn 3.
Yeah.
Like with a pistol. Like
Yeah, dude.
what's going on here?
Yeah, Baum was such a nuisance.
He also made that flank play towards the end where he got through the trench all the way to the back of like the elbow and then was able to rotate and collapse Snipe with his team. Like just plays were made. I also thought just in general like it was awesome on the broadcast. We had so many game 5s. We had so many like good series and like getting to see Halo be played at that level. I don't know, man. Like I super enjoyed that. What was disappointing for you, Wes?
Yeah, I don't think anything really disappointed me. When I don't see Sentinels in the finals, I'm kind of disappointed in them. I'll say Royal 2 probably disappointed me a little bit. He's going to be mad at me because I hadn't talked to him in a minute. But like, I just hold him to like a certain standard that I know him to be.
Mm-hmm.
And when he doesn't play to that level, I kind of am like, Matt, come on, figure it out, dude. Like, you're basically God's gift to Halo for the past 10 years, right?
It's
So,
tough seeing them go so negative too in that game.
But they rebound like no other. Like the thing is like I know what Royal 2's been doing. Like he's been playing Rocket League every night. He's streaming. I'm like the second Royal 2 wants to come back and go plus 20 on everybody, they'll do it. So he just needs
and
a
you
little
can
bit of motivation.
Yeah, and I know, and you know these players are going to be putting in an absurd amount of hours when the Halo Infinite game finally releases. So maybe they do deserve to kind of enjoy it. Like you said, match
and play
playing.
Rocket League. Yeah,
Yeah.
like absolutely.
Yeah, but we expect as fans of the game, as fans of the competition, when we watch the Royal 2 and we watch Snakebite, we expect to see them make it, and they typically are in that finals matchup. But Inconceivable playing amazing and able to lock in the victory. So congratulations again to them, and excited to see what the next Pro Series results are going to look like. But Alex, I wanted to also, now that we've broken down the tournament, for the most part, I wanted to transition over to some specific Shyway questions, a little segment that we could have some kind of get the fans and the viewers to get to know you a little bit better. So I'm interested to hear, how did your entrance into Halo really happen, and what kind of accelerated that process to get you where you are now? Being kind of like this personality and this content creator in the Halo scene.
Yeah, you blew up fast.
Thank you. I don't know if I blew. I think I became well known really quickly because I definitely haven't blown up. Like
I was gonna say you've been doing the same thing for a good steady 3-4 years at least. Maybe more.
I joined this community in 2018. So it was
Yeah.
a bit.
Wow.
My first YouTube video that like really started to like, it was March 2018 when I got the YouTube grind going, and it was after EGLX. I think EGLX 2018 was my first casting gig for Halo. Like I'd say like real casting gig. It was with Walshy, Nighty, and Wonderboy. So really good way to meet Walshy too, which was really exciting at the time. But yeah, how I got into Halo though was I've always casually been invested in Halo. It was never like a big, big passion for me. It's like I was a Gears guy, I was a Smash guy, so I played a bunch of different games. But Halo 5, just something about it just grabbed me. I loved watching it, loved playing it, and then I decided to go to Microsoft Store in Toronto to just see one of their events, maybe cast, just get involved. And Martin Ohms was there. Divian, you guys know Divian now, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. We work with them.
Yeah. This was their Greater Toronto Halo, like Microsoft Store events. This was back in like summer 2017. That's how I got acquainted with the community. So I did like a little bit of casting there. Those events started to get bigger. Martin Ohms, GT Halo started to get more known. Divian got promoted. He got sent over to Microsoft to be like an esports analyst or something, and now he's working at 343. But that's kind of like how I got into it. Well, that was happening like in between. I was hosting an esports show. So I've been doing this like public speaking esports grind for a little while. And I was hosting this show with Cineplex. They're like a movie company. And it was just a general show where we talk about esports. And I had this side segment that I came up with called Game Changer, where I had to take a play and break it down. I broke down a Smash Bros play, and it just clicked. Like when I did the Smash Bros breakdown, everything just like kind of came together. I felt like I had this knack for it. So this became my own segment, and every week I would break down a play in a game, and it wouldn't just be Smash. Like I did a Halo one, I did Street Fighter, I did League of Legends. I'd have to have like a correspondent, somebody to help, give me the right info, so I didn't make an idiot of myself. Yeah, so that segment was something that really kind of grabbed me, and when that show ended, it was it just didn't continue in the following year, which was 2018. I decided I wanted to take that skill and try to apply it to something on my own. That's where the YouTube videos came in. So I think it was like around March. I had EGLX. I was back at home, and I had this new just inspiration to make breakdown videos. So I started making Halo videos. When I got really noticed was later that year in the fall, and it was because of T Squared, I think. I think that's like what really kind of got the ball rolling. Like I was already picking up some viewership and people were talking about me, but then T Squared messaged me on Twitter and he's like, yo, I love what you're doing. I'm hosting this show with UGC called HCS Weekly, and I'd love to have you on the show and do a little interview. So I was like, oh, fuck yes, I'll come. So I came on the show. I talked to him, and then just randomly, I don't 100% know what happened, but T Squared had a falling out with UGC like a week later. And he just, they don't work together anymore. UGC contacted me and said, we thought you were great as a guest on the show. Would you like to now host the show? And I said, okay, sure.
Jeez, all these leaps, right?
Yeah. I was like, heck yeah, I've hosted stuff before. I'd happily, host the show. So the next thing I know, I'm hosting a weekly Halo talk show, and it's not like a big deal, but the beauty of hosting a Halo talk show is when I'm getting guests, I'm meeting people, right? Like I'm trying to reach out to different guests. Connections, exactly. So next thing you know, I have Snipe down on the show, and then I have Roy and Lunchbox on the show, and I have like all these different Halo pros and personalities that I didn't get a chance to meet or be associated with in the community a decade ago. I get to learn about it now, and the beauty of my show and the way I treated it is every player that I would bring on, I wanted to celebrate their history as a player, so I would research them. So for Roy, I would go all the way back to the beginning, find any YouTube video, any interview that I could about him. And then I would ask him different questions about like where he began and go through different highlights in his career. And we would talk about them together. So it was just a great way for me to get history and get acquainted with people and build connections. And while I did that, I kept making YouTube videos. And the next thing I know, my first gig, I think, because working for UGC, thankfully UGC had events. They did Halo tournaments. So I think they had that following year, they had the UGC Halo. It was in January, the Halo Classic tournament. I think that's what it was. It was like 2019, January.
St. Louis, yeah.
St. Louis. And that was my first gig with UGC. That was, I was on the desk. I had like small appearances. I was like an analyst on the desk at one point. And it just kind of kept rolling from there. It was UGC and then another UGC Atlantic City. And then next thing I know, I'm doing DreamHack events and I'm hosting. So I don't know. The ball just kind of
super cool, man. I mean, you show like how important it is to network, how it is important it is to make connections and not rub people the wrong way. And that's huge, man. It's huge to do that.
Yeah. So. And I don't think I'm perfect by any means. I definitely learned a lot of lessons, and I'm still learning lessons as far as the networking and presenting myself in the best way that I can. But yeah, I think, I just, with the content, I work really hard to try to provide unique value with the content that I make. And I think that's what's kind of allowed me to stand out and pick up notoriety, is because my content is unique. It's
definitely, I haven't seen anything like that before you or after you. Well, I think it's time for my question, obviously, because I'm the fun guy and I got the fun question.
Not the fun guy.
The self-proclaimed fun guy.
Nobody actually fun self-proclaims themselves.
But what's like your most outrageous, funny, memorable behind the scenes LAN story? First one that pops in
He
your
said,
head.
"Oh."
If it involves me, keep your mouth shut.
If it involves Wes, please, absolutely, we need it.
God, I remember Wes and I doing so much. No, just some sort of drug or some shit. No, nothing like that. No. Can we talk about weed on here? Is that? Do we not?
Absolutely, whatever you want to talk about,
No.
dude. Whatever you
No,
want
we
to talk
don't.
about for you. This is
That's-
your image.
that-
This is your
I
image.
don't
So
have any crazy stories, but I will say my best LAN memories would be my favorite event was Austin, Texas in what was it?
Great city. Great city.
oh my god.
I loved I love Austin, but it was just in 2019. It was I became part of Grassroots as well, which is another amazing thing that came out of nowhere. Right, HCS Grassroots started a program. They let me be a partner.
They
and,
denied me in the
myself-
first wave, bro. I'm just gonna keep going.
I was in not the first wave. I was in like the third wave.
I'm saying I got denied in the first wave, and I'm still salty about it. So keep going. Anyways.
The first wave was pretty hardcore. It was like Action Man, Node, Native, right? Was there? Who was the? Anyway, it was a good first wave.
Not
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
That's who it was.
All
Yeah.
their waves
Not
have been
Hunter.
all
Yeah.
their waves have been awesome. Honestly, every time they release their lineup of new partners for the grassroots program, they're definitely awesome people.
Yeah. But the beauty of Grassroots is when it started and it was just the 12 of us, we had this Austin invitational. And they're like, oh, yeah, you guys are the 12 Grassroots members. So we're going to send you to Austin, Texas. You could do jack all. Like, honestly, we had I guess we didn't have to do it, but we got
Was
to
this for
stream.
South by Southwest?
This is South by Southwest, exactly.
Yeah.
So during the day, we got to stream from a booth in the middle of in the middle of the convention, like where
I remember this.
the event was being held. And then when we weren't streaming, we were just chilling in South by Southwest and smoking joints, and
Vibing.
whatever. Dude, it was so chill because it was a way for me to meet and hang out with every single content creator. I'm not going to out, I guess.
Alex,
What?
when you come to the States, marijuana is illegal in some states.
Well, it's in Toronto, Canada. It's fully
Texas being one of them.
Texas is a very red state. It is very illegal in Texas.
I think it is actually. Yeah, it was illegal at the time.
It still is.
It was.
Sheriff P is on the case, bro. Sheriff P.
Jumped through a couple of hoops to acquire said.
Oh my god, dude! I don't want to hear about the drug dealer story.
Hey,
All right.
No crazy hoops. Nothing crazy. whatsoever.
No, it's all good.
It was just a beautiful bonding experience. Getting to
Yeah,
know
hell yeah.
all the content creators.
He was like, it was my first time.
Late-night conversations, getting to know pros, and getting to know people behind the identity, behind the persona.
For the record, Alex, we did not hang out at that tournament.
We hung out a lot.
We did not.
At the time, like,
No.
Wes
No,
is
we
the
did
plug. Wes the plug.
You know what? I do actually have one story. And I've got a scar for this story as well. This is a Halo Lancer. This is perfect, actually.
oh, let's do it.
That was a good time, though. Austin was my favorite, so we'll say that. But a year ago now, was it 2020 January? We had Anaheim, right? Wes, you were there for Anaheim.
Yep.
Anaheim was a great time. And then the last night for Anaheim on Sunday, there's always like an after party type gig on Sunday at the end. And that's where I decide to like let loose a little, like I'll drink more. I'm the type of person, actually, it's not even that exciting.
Was Anaheim a club?
Anaheim was, it was like some sort of a club. We had like a booth in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a section at the club?
Yeah, we had our own
Okay.
section at the club.
Okay.
It was pretty sick.
Wait, let's hear it. Let's say what happened.
Honestly, I was going to try to make a story, but I feel like not too much. I just drank too much. But I'm the type of person.
No, we had a good time.
You're a fun guy.
It was a vibe.
It was.
Wait, what year was this?
This was the last
2020.
LAN tournament.
It was the
Yeah.
last.
Oh,
LAN.
It was
the
Anaheim.
Reach,
the Reach event.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all had a section on Sunday night?
We had a
Yeah.
section.
Yeah.
Booths.
Yeah.
Nice.
The thing is,
I'm
I'm not
so-
a crazy. I think it's also because I don't know a lot of these guys that well, right? Like I'm not super comfortable. I find when I drink too much, instead of becoming like an idiot, I do the opposite. I'm afraid that I'm going to be too much of an idiot, so I sneak out. Like I just I try to get out of there if I know I'm too drunk. So that's really what happened. It was like 2 a.m. or something, and I had like a few too many shots, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Like there's no way I'm going to be able to hold a conversation. So I snuck out of the party.
I don't think it went much
I
later.
remember this now. Actually, I remember that place on Sunday night in Anaheim.
Did you go to Anaheim?
Wait,
Yeah, no, I was
Okay.
there. I went with Gilkey, Gab, and Blaze, but we
Blaze.
ended up not having that good of a tournament.
Oh, true.
But yeah,
It's a
I
good
do
little
remember.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good time.
Yeah.
Alex is like, I snuck out. So after
Yeah,
you snuck out,
If
I
it makes you
snuck out.
feel better, I don't remember the end of that night, Alex.
I
so.
don't remember it either. I just remember the pool of blood that I woke up in. That's
Oh,
all.
oh my
what the
God.
hell?
Back, wait, where was this? What was
Where
the
were you
setting
bleeding
here?
from?
Where did you wake up?
I was okay.
Was it your
okay, so
blood?
I woke up. I made it to my hotel room. I remember getting to the hotel room, but I don't remember what happened after I got to the hotel room. That's all. I
Where's
just
your scar?
on my
Yeah,
forehead.
where does the scar come into play?
Oh, you were bleeding from the head.
Yeah, it's. I don't know
Oh
if you can
my
see. It's
God.
here. Anyway, yeah, I hit my head. I don't remember where I hit my head, but it was in the hotel room. I think I hit it on the bathroom floor somehow. I have no
Ooh.
idea how that's possible.
Holy,
but I was
bro.
Yeah, so dude, it's brutal because
That's dangerous.
I was
That
so
is.
drunk. I
You
was
could have
so
bled
yeah,
out.
very dangerous. I was so drunk that after hitting my head, I guess I didn't realize that I was bleeding. So I went to bed and I woke up and there was blood
Probably the
everywhere. and
concussion.
There was puke in multiple places too. I had puke on a wall and there was puke. I think I did have a minor concussion. And there
No,
was floor. Dude,
Yeah, next time something like this, next
learned my
time you
lesson.
get this drunk at an event, you fucking call me.
Well, that's the thing is I'm not a crazy. I think I can be if I'm comfortable, but that's
He wasn't
that's,
comfortable with Wes. He didn't know if he could
I
trust
was
you.
with him, you having a good ass time.
I don't know. I don't remember if you were with me. I don't think.
We were
Yeah,
definitely
no-
there. It was us, Ika.
remember,
I'm not gonna start naming names.
I remember I was in the booth and I was talking to APG and it was like going well for a bit. And then I think I like bored him or something, or I said something that like just didn't vibe with him. And I got the sense that like, I don't know, he didn't want to talk to me anyway.
That might just be APG.
Yeah, it was a hard read, honestly. I was like, okay, I'm getting drunk.
If you are meeting APG for the first time,
It's hard to know.
you're not gonna be able to get a read on APG.
It's hard to get a read on APG. Yeah, that's for sure.
There's only
Try to
one.
get a read. If you try to get a read, I think he
APG.
knows you're trying to get a read, and then it makes it worse. If that makes sense. Like if you're like,
I wouldn't
Man,
give him that much credit.
that makes me even more sad that we this last year and a couple months have just been a wash in terms of having live events and getting the Halo community together. Because I bet you if we had the tournaments for the last year, you'd have some funny, crazy stories.
I mean, Alex-
You might have some more
Not
scars
like
on
that,
your
dude.
forehead.
Yeah.
no.
Apparently, Alex is
You
the
might
fun.
be, you
Yeah.
might be in jail right now for all we know.
Yeah, Alex, I guess, is the real fun guy, right? I'm just the imposter fun guy. You're the real one.
You are not the fun guy.
He is the
anymore,
real
Justin.
fun guy, dude.
I've never in my life had a situation like that. Like usually I'm a pretty together drunk. Like obviously I've puked before because I've drank too much, but man, I've never hit my head and like who knows
That's
how bad.
scary, dude. That's
Yeah,
that's you have
that's serious.
too many friends at these events to have something like that happen. Because
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
in all honesty, the things I saw as like an officer during my time, like it can be something that small, and
Yeah.
you get a
You
concussion,
just don't wake
you go
up.
to bed, and you do not wake up. Like
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
that. Like for people that are watching, like I know we laughed and like everybody
now-
likes to party and whatnot, but like, man, like be
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah. Take
No,
care of yourself.
definitely.
Yeah. The next day was brutal though. I gotta say, like I
I
definitely
guarantee it was brutal. You woke up and puking blood.
I felt, it wasn't just that made it brutal. It's like so I felt like I had some sort of a concussion. Like I was definitely dizzy. Like I was very dizzy.
Oh, you were concussed.
Yeah, and but the issue was I had to pay like $250 at least because I had to pay damages because I messed up their room. Right, like there was no.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, so I basically like I went down. I said, yeah, I puked, and
What'd
there's
you
blood
break?
on the sheets and stuff. I didn't. It's just on their pillows and on their floor.
Wasn't that part of the? Don't they? I mean, I guess it's different if you have puke on the sheets, but I mean, they clean those rooms and they clean out the sheets every
I mean,
morning, right?
blood and puke,
That
like,
terrible?
No, I
Honestly,
guess
yeah.
you're right. That is kind of a lot.
yeah.
But-
They probably threw those things out. They probably burned those things in the back after that.
Probably had to replace the mattress, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so the guy at the door at the desk says, "Yeah, it's gonna be like 250 or whatever." And I get in my pocket and I realize I only have like $200 exactly left in cash or something. And then Bravo's the goat. He comes in and he gives me more money to make sure I can pay for it, and then he gives me money to have for food and stuff like in the airport. And I ended up seeing him in the airport a little bit later. He gave me snacks and stuff. Like, honestly, Bravo was amazing. He was like,
I love to hear
Andy
that.
is
he was doing everything he could to look after me.
the man.
And I would, I said, I'm okay. I'm okay. The plane ride was brutal though. I was just dizzy on the plane. I just wanted to get home. It was just, it was gross.
I mean, we've all had those plane rides though. I mean, competing and all the stuff that happens on Sunday nights and stuff. For as long as we have, like, there are trips that I went on where I don't even know how I got back home. Like, I had to carry Straight Sick through the airport one time because he was so drunk. I had to carry him through like freaking like security, checking all of it, and get him on his plane, and then literally call his dad and be like, "Yo, you need to like meet him at the plane because he is like." No, so we've all been there, you know.
That's why I love when you ask these questions to our guests, because Halo and Halo tournaments, the Sunday nights can get pretty rowdy, and it's a part of the fun. It's a part of being in the community, and
we need to be. People need to be safe, though.
Of course. I totally agree.
There's a
but
fine line
that's
between.
That's where the importance, I can't stress enough, of like having a good like friend circle when you're at these things, being with people that you trust and that you're comfortable with, and
that's the thing. Is what I was going to speak up, and I'll cut you off. I don't care. This is a good point. I like this point. So I'm sorry.
Point. It has to be.
How many points? Like, 1, 2, 3.
Like, even like it honestly like fucking hit me when you were saying that like you left because you weren't feeling well, Alex, and then all these bad things happen, and like something serious could have happened. Like, this Halo community is like a family, right? Like, even if I don't know you by your name, your gamer tag, whatever it might be, like, if you're in trouble or you need somebody and you're out of town, you're in a strange space, like, these people are like, I know just about everybody there has everyone's best interest, and like we'll go the distance to help you. Like, don't be stupid. I'm not bailing you out of jail because you did something like stupid.
Don't worry.
But like, if you are at risk of being sick, hurt, like you need something, like, this community has always treated its members like a family. So let's keep that going. The more we grow, the new and younger players that are coming up, like, we have each other's backs. Okay.
I mean, dude, the way the scene rallied behind me when I had all my gear stolen recently and helped me replace that stuff like within a week, like it was unbelievable, and it's always so encouraging to see that, deep down, like, we're competitive, whatever, we talk our trash, but deep down, like, I mean, Wes nailed it. We're a family,
I believe that too. I think the bigger thing was I thought I was totally fine. I was just a little too drunk.
Yeah, and I think we've all had. Everyone's had those nights.
Trust me, I've been there.
Yeah.
One thing I will say though that I love about the Halo community, it was a feeling that I didn't really realize until I went to an event, and that's that I've got this big passion for Halo and what I do and my breakdowns. But here at home, that passion isn't something that I can kind of express to anyone and get any kind of feedback on, if that makes sense. Like, I have friends who like video games, but nobody likes Halo as much as I.
You don't
like
get that reaction you're looking for when you're trying to.
Like, I can't talk about this stuff to my friends or to a girl or to my family and expect them to like answer back with the same level of interest and knowledge, whatever. The beauty of like going to an event and hanging out with all these other Halo content creators, Halo players, is the shared passion that we all have. We're all in the same boat, in the same situation. We all want Halo to succeed, and there's this feeling, this inner, just this optimistic, like, it's gonna happen, man. Like, when I'm with these people, I don't know, I just get this fire, it's just incredible.
Yeah, and that's what you gotta hold on to, man. That's what's gonna continue to bring you success. Obviously, your creativity and your hard work has also contributed, but that fire that you're describing, that's what really makes you great, and that's what really makes your content stand out. So keep it up.
You gotta also understand that you have that exact impact on other people,
Hopefully.
right? Like, especially I see why not. Like, that guy, like, gets that vibe from you 100%. The vibe you got from when you meet Walshy and everything that he's done and he's worked on and whatnot. And I know it's like different accolades and whatnot, but like, you now have a responsibility and a status like in the community, like, for everything that you've done over the past 3 years, that gives people hope, that gives people fire, that gives people inspiration. Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
And that's a primary objective of my content, I would say. It's cheesy, I guess, but every video that or not every video, but
I like
the
cheese.
mantra, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, is just I want my content to entertain, inform, and inspire. Right.
Mm,
So like I'm entertaining and informative. Those are two things that I'll do by having a video that's right to the point, that shows you the gameplay, shows you the stuff that's interesting, engaging, and succinct. That's entertaining, informative. Like I want you to get the knowledge. I want you to get the entertainment. Inspiring is more difficult. Inspiring is like a holistic endeavor. It's like it's the
Right.
reason why I work out. It's the reason why I'm animated in the way that I am, why I'm so engaged and interested in everything that I'm saying, because I'm thinking, how can I deliver a performance here that not only imparts knowledge, but makes you want to get on and play, makes you
Mhm.
feel like inspired to do something, or inspired to follow and believe in Halo. I have people who watch Halo 5 videos who don't give a shit about Halo 5, but they like the content. They're like inspired in some way by the content. So that's that's a huge goal of mine, and it's something I want to impart in my hosting and my casting and everything I do, and maybe someday transition it out of gaming, and because that's the thing, is like the beauty of liking Halo is it's a young audience, right? Like
That's a
I'm
lifestyle.
it's a
mhm.
lifestyle, and it's also the community that I'm inspiring is a community of youth. It's like it's the perfect
Making
like
a real
audience
impact,
of people,
right?
yeah, to
Yeah,
make an impact,
it's
right?
for the
So to
future.
be able to extend that into something larger at some point, I think would be awesome. And
You'd be a
maybe
good teacher.
40-year-old Shyway can.
He would he
Thank you.
would be a good teacher, right? He's teaching
I
movement in the
have been
in the
a
classroom.
teacher, actually.
Thrust slide
Interestingly,
101 with Alex in the classroom coming right
no
up.
slide. I actually, in the end of university, so this was before I got into casting. I realized I wanted to try doing public speaking. I don't know why. I just felt like it was something I wanted to do. So I joined this speech and debate group in my university, and there was a guy in the speech and debate group. He was like the president of the group. He had this secondary course that he was working on, this little like a side course thing called Picture Words, and it was something that he had designed to help improve people's communication skills, their confidence, their communication skills, not only in public speaking, but just in any form of communication. And it was a special targeted course where he teaches like 5-6 people max at a time, so everybody gets like personal time, kind of like an Alcoholics Anonymous, where like it's just a nice close knit group, and everybody gets
Mhm.
set time to do impromptu presentations, prepare presentations, all this, and it's a really empowering experience. He had to graduate, and he passed the all of his course, like knowledge, everything that he had put together. He's like, Alex, I want you to teach it. So I took it upon myself to teach university students for like a good 2 years. I taught over 250 students. I went to a
Wow.
multicultural group outside of the school. I did a whole bunch of things where I taught public speaking, and it was more than just public speaking. It was about building these people's confidence, their ability to just kind of believe in themselves, perform, and improve their communication holistically, in all areas, like with a girlfriend or in an interview or whatever. And I grew so much by having that thrust upon me, I guess, by taking on that responsibility. And then that's using that experience, I went back to gaming, and I said, gaming is my passion. I want to transition it there. So,
Love that.
yeah, so I've kind of been in that position before. So I'd love to
Wow.
bring elements of that back later in the future once I've figured out what I'm doing with this whole gaming thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first to say that is every bit of that information. That's all extremely interesting, and for me, it was the first time here. Like I didn't really know a lot of the background information to your come up, I guess. So
Sure.
definitely exciting, and I think you kind of have this such a great blueprint for your for what you want to do. The entertaining, informative, and inspirational, right? That's I think you, and for what it's worth, in my opinion, I think you've been hitting them, across the board with your content. It really does do that. It has, that's the thing about stuff like that's so great, and that is so unique, is that it's hard to kind of pinpoint what makes it so great. But I think the whole process you go through to put out these videos, like whatever, however you've kind of made it work, it works, and I always enjoy it. And I can't wait to see what else you got in store for the Halo community.
Well, thank you guys. Very kind, Goofy. I appreciate it, man. And I'm along for the ride, dude. I'm just gonna keep grinding and keep my head up, because hopefully we've got amazing things to come with Infinite.
Oh, we do. Thank you so much, though, for coming on and hanging with us, Alex. I think that this is long overdue. Obviously, you've done so much stuff with us, and we've done so many shows and whatnot together that it was only a matter of time. We'll have to have you on.
Honest,
Go ahead,
to
Wes.
be honest, I feel like I work so much with Shyway in production right now. I was like, wait, we haven't had Shyway on before?
Yeah,
I had to ask
exactly.
myself that. I was like, I felt like you had already been on here. But
I wonder who I've casted with the most. I feel like I've worked with you
it's gotta
more
be
than
me.
Yeah, it's
me.
gotta be Wes. It's gotta be Wes.
If we go even like the live show perform, you've been in every single live gig that I've had on a desk. I'm pretty sure, like Atlantic City, Halo Classic. You were there for Atlanta and for Anaheim, right?
Oh, Wes gets around, man.
He's been
Wes is putting in
I
that
got
work.
more ESPN.
And what's weird is that I still feel like I'm so new.
Mm.
So it's just like you'll always I know you guys are all like younger in your careers than I am, and it feels like I'm still just like a novice, an amateur. Like I'm still like it feels like my first tournament was yesterday, and I know you guys probably all think like that, and that thought process is not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think the second you think you made it, that's when you kind of start to blow it, right? Like, I mean, like, even with you thinking that though, Wes, I don't know if you remember this, but like really early on, like probably after one of my first or second like casting gigs, like you called me or something, and we like you just chatted with me for a while about like stuff that you noticed, or whatever, and like. Dude, like the conversation that I had with you was literally so helpful for me in my growth and helped me like, you just were like, yeah, I learned this and, try this. And it was like literally so helpful. It's like, it was a game changer for me, So even though you feel new in your head, you're still able to pass on that wisdom to us who are, even newer than you. And man, like that blessed me.
What I pass on is not defined as wisdom. It's just point of view.
Man, yeah. But
none of these are guaranteed to work.
But I appreciated that though, man. And yeah, I think on that note, Faisal, I think we should wrap this up because we can sit here talking to Alex all night. We vibe, we hang. So.
Yeah, I think you are correct about that. Again, I hope you guys enjoy the show. Obviously, we got Alex, the man Shyway here. We will have all of his information, his YouTube, his Twitch, all that in the comment section. To make sure to follow Shyway, show him some love, check out his content. I guarantee you will like it. So go watch it.
If you're a Halo fan, you'll like it.
And you'll learn something.
If you're not a Halo fan, you'll definitely respect the creativity.
But exactly, yeah. But for everyone here on the show, on my X, and of course Shyway, we will catch you guys next time. Peace out. On my X, episode 32. We're out.
Sub to the channel.